Hi, I'm Ethan, and I'm your go to source for all the hottest, most talked about stories blowing up on social media. Make sure to hit that subscribe button so you're always in the know. Stay tuned and stay ahead of the game. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking about a pretty big name in American conservative media, Dan Bongino. He's a former cop, Secret Service agent, political candidate, and now a big-time commentator. We're going to break down his life, his major achievements, and one of the biggest controversies he's been involved in. Let's jump right in. First off, Dan Bongino was born on December 4th, 1974, in New York City. He grew up in a working-class neighborhood and later joined the NYPD, New York City Police. In 1995, that's where he really got his start in public service. He stayed in the NYPD until 1999, and then he made a huge career jump. He joined the U.S. Secret Service. That's a pretty big deal. It's not every day you hear about someone going from local law enforcement to protecting presidents. So, in 1999, Dan starts his Secret Service career. Eventually, he's assigned to the Presidential Protection Division, which is basically the elite team that guards the President of the United States. He served under Presidents George W. Bush and Barack Obama. That gave him tons of insider experience in national security and government operations. He actually wrote about some of that in his books, especially in Life Inside the Bubble, where he shared stories from his time in the Secret Service. In 2011, Dan Bongino decided to step away from the Secret Service and jump into politics. He ran for the U.S. Senate in 2012 as a Republican candidate in Maryland, and later for the U.S. House of Representatives in 2014 and 2016, sometimes in different districts, including Florida. But he didn't actually win those races. Even though he lost, that political exposure put him on the map with conservative audiences. After the political runs, Dan shifted gears into media. He started making waves as a commentator on conservative TV and radio shows. Eventually, he launched his own show, The Dan Bongino Show, which is a podcast and a radio show that became super popular with conservative listeners. He also had a weekly show on Fox News until 2023. Plus, he's authored several books, Life Inside the Bubble and Speedgate, which dove into claims of government surveillance on Donald Trump's campaign. Love him or hate him, Dan Bongino built a pretty big following. His straight-talking, no-holds-barred style resonates with a lot of people who lean conservative. And let's be real, he's not shy about sharing his opinions, whether it's about politics, social issues, or national security. Now, let's get into one of the most controversial moments that put Dan Bongino in the headlines, his YouTube ban. In January 2022, YouTube banned Dan Bongino's channel for allegedly spreading misinformation about COVID-19. Here's how it went down. Bongino questioned certain COVID guidelines and vaccine information. YouTube said he violated their policies by sharing medical misinformation. He got a temporary suspension at first, then ended up with a full ban. Bongino didn't stay quiet. He criticized YouTube for what he saw as censorship, and he moved his show more aggressively to Rumble. a platform that markets itself as more open to free speech. This sparked a bigger debate about free speech versus misinformation on social media. Some people defended him, saying big tech is too heavy-handed. Others said the ban was justified to stop the spread of harmful info. Either way, it definitely got people talking, and it put Dan Bongino's name front and center in debates. That's the story, folks. Dan Bongino, ex-cop, ex-Secret Service, political hopeful, and now a heavyweight in conservative media. If you learned something new today, hit that like button and subscribe to stay tuned for more deep dives into interesting public figures.